and we are going to be racing in Moto2 here in Mugello. Tony Arbolino's trying to be really aggressive off the line, isn't he? Coming from 10th place on the grid. Joe Roberts got away well from that second row. So did Sam Lowes. 3 abreast they go. The front row starters into turn number 1, and it's Pedro Acosta on the outside. Kennett's going backwards. Joe Roberts runs in wide. Sam Lowes briefly held the lead.
Accident.
Oh, there's a big accident further down. It's one of the Bosca-Scorer riders, isn't it?
Darren Binder too.
Darren Binder's down as well, so early chaos at the first corner in San Donato. At the front there was no drama, and it's Pedro Acosta exactly where he wanted to be. Last year's race winner, he has the early advantage. Dropping down the hill then comes Sam Lowe, trying to find a way through it to Scarperia on Pedro Acosta. Acosta's so good, isn't he, though? Here comes Alonso Lopez. He's put Lowe's down, and that's going to be looked at by the FI MotoGP stewards. And Alonso Lopez, you fear there's going to be a penalty coming away. Second year in a row, Sam Lowe's has been wiped out. He is absolutely furious and enraged. Sam Lowe's, probably with some justification as well. Last year, of course, it was friendly fire. He got taken out by his teammate Tony Arbolino. Sadly for Lowe's, history repeating itself here in the Italian Grand Prix. Once Lopez serves this penalty, Pedro Acosta is going to have some pretty nice breathing space back to his main rivals, because you feel that Lopez is going to lose 2 seconds coming through that long lap loop.
And he's probably going to fit in somewhere between Salach and Gonzalez. That gap you can see
here he comes.
5th and 6th. So
straight
Lopez into the long lap penalty loop. He goes outside into the gravel trap. That's the limit of the damage. In fact, he's probably going to have to serve that again.
Well, he's made an absolute hash of that, hasn't he? So desperate to just get through the long lap penalty loop as quickly as he possibly could. And he's now rejoined the race in 9th place. And of course, that was not a long lap penalty served correctly. And he'll have to come through it again, surely. He was in the gravel. He's going to now worry about cleaning his tyres off as well. So that was an absolute shocker for Alonso Lopez. Just desperate, trying to limit the damage of the long lap penalty, having inflicted some major damage to Sam Lowes and the Elf Martinez Racing team. Alonso Lopez has to come through another long lap penalty, so not a prayer that Lopez is going to get himself back into podium contention.
This is the battle now for 2nd place then, with Alonso Lopez moving out of the way with that little detour through the long lap penalty loop and the gravel trap. It's Arbolino, Canet and Salach who are battling for 2nd place. They're already the best part of 2 seconds behind Pedro Acosta as Alonso Lopez drops down the leaderboard as he tries to correctly serve his long lap penalty this time. We will get a message on our timing screens if he has correctly served it. We will let you know as we now ride on board slightly further back. This is Lopez, in fact, up behind Celestino Vietti.
As Philip Salach starts to get busy and works his way back into the podium places. What a season it's been in 2023 for the Czech rider. Absolutely awesome. 4th place in the World Championship. He was only a point coming into this Italian Grand Prix behind Alonso Lopez, so he could be moving up inside the top 3 in the World Championship. 6 races done. I don't think there have been a lot of people parting with some of their hard-earned cash to say Salach would have been a top 3 contender early on. Pedro Acosta, the runaway leader then here, drops down through Casanova and Civelli, came over the line to start this lap 5, 1.9 seconds clear, and no great surprise, he's already established a 2-second lead for the first time in this Grand Prix on Arbolino through Sector 1. Lopez at the moment, he's down in 13th place.
He's up behind Barry Baltus at the moment, who's recovering from a poor qualifying position. There are quite a few riders further back down the field who shouldn't be, as we now look at what went on further down. This is him. Is this the first attempt? Yeah, because he's coming in from 2nd place. He goes onto the green and into the gravel trap. That, of course, relegates him down to the bottom of the top 10. He would have probably known already at that stage that he had to come through it again. And this will now be Alonso Lopez having a 2nd attempt at serving the long lap penalty loop, and this time stays firmly within the white lines.
That's a bit more like it. Practice makes perfect, I guess you could say, but 2 long laps for Lopez have completely destroyed any ambitions that he might have had of being in this fight for the victory here in Mugello with Pedro Acosta.
Lopez is now having a look at Vietti. He's not afraid to overtake anywhere, is he? Into Arrabbiata 1. Through comes Alonso Lopez, who's clearly got so much confidence on the front end of that Bosca-Scorer, but he and Vietti are both charging back through the field. Let's take another look at what happened at the start of the Grand Prix then. So the rider to watch is on the very inside, so it'll be left of your picture when they come into turn 1. Fermin Aldeguer on the 54. So look at the inside of the corner. Aldeguer going up the inside there, loses the front. Darren Binder nowhere to go, and then Alcoba, should I say, gets absolutely launched onto his head on the outside of the first corner. Absolutely helpless. Roberts is in the background there in 12th place. He's in a battle with the two Honda Team Asia riders. Somkiat Chantra hasn't really had any speed at any stage this weekend at a circuit that just does not suit his style. He's down in 11th. And Ayagura, 13th place. That's roughly where he started, as Vietti does now lift up Garcia.
Yeah, it looks like Garcia is just having problems with the front end at the moment. Stopping and turning seemed to be his issue. So it was a costly lap at number 12, wasn't it, for Garcia, who lost places to Gonzalez, Lopez and eventually Vietti. So he started that lap number 12 in 6th spot, as Lopez now has found a way through on Manu Gonzalez. What a recovery ride this has been. How much of a different story might this Mugello Grand Prix have been for Pedro Acosta? Because at the moment he's running away, 3.1 seconds clear now of Arbolino. Through they go into Scarperia. Didn't really have to fight for it there, did he, Aaron Canet? So trying to understand here what's affecting the late race pace here of Salach. It's Albert Arenas, who has had an absolute nightmare weekend here in Mugello, completely overshadowed by his hard-charging teammate Acosta. It's not been a dream switch over to Rebel Katie Meyer as Dixon makes light work of Salach at the bottom part of the section of the course into Arabiata 1. This just feels like a bit of deja vu, doesn't it, in Mugello, with Pedro Acosta inflicting yet more demolition on the chasing pack. 5.3 seconds he is clear of Tony Arbolino. Jake Dixon then now moves into the podium places. He has delivered a late blow here for poor Aaron Canet. Can the Spaniard do anything then in response as Dixon looks on course for yet another third? But Pedro Acosta in cruise control here in the Italian Grand Prix. He is going to take his 4th win in the last 7 races. It has been another Mugello masterclass from Pedro Acosta. He takes an utterly dominant victory here in the Italian Grand Prix. Over the line in 2nd place. What a valuable 20 points that will prove to be for Tony Arbolino. 6.1 seconds he's further drift. Jake Dixon does hang on. He does resist the late Canet pressure to take the podium. 3rd place for Dixon. Canet, a heroic 4th.
Giovanni Coppioli, the FIM Vice President, hands a 3rd winner's trophy of the season to Pedro Acosta, the fastest pizza delivery man in Italy today.